Greetings shippers, welcome back, and it's time for another Tumblr update. We talked about Tumblr recently on this channel, although it doesn't feel all that recently at the time of this recording. It was back during the Tumblr apocalypse, the great adult content purge of Tumblr right before the start of the new year, December 2018, what some would dub as the day that Tumblr died. Now since the early 2010s, Tumblr has been quite the fandom hub, a hotspot for all types of fandom, especially transformative. For many of the years between 2010 and 2013 were peak Tumblr, a beautiful safe haven where all things went. After that point, certain fans feel that there has been a steady decline, and that the removal of adult content off of the site has only added to that decline. Now, how much adult content was on the site is actually up for debate. People will throw numbers out there, but in reality, the last tracked numbers were from 2013. At that point, from external sources coming in, it was 22%. Some feel that it has to have increased, while others think that it most likely plateaued. But again, there's nothing concrete there to draw upon. It's all speculation. Depending upon what part of Tumblr you were in, it could feel like it was all adult content or no adult content. Tumblr was not a uniform experience for users. It was built up of many pockets because of its rapid microblogging nature, meaning that one could stay in their corner and have a truly unique positive experience or an awful one. It really varied. The adult content purge, however, hurt Tumblr on both sides. It hurt its regular user base who enjoyed that content and the freedom of it for a variety of reasons. The media is very much hitting the LGBTQ+ safe space angle, which was definitely impacted by this purge. However, on the whole, this rippled across multiple communities. Sex work communities, kink communities, fans who enjoy a bit more taboo risque content communities. And some were just put off by the vehemence of this purge and sought to take their content elsewhere. That search is still ongoing. You will still find articles about the best sites to use instead of Tumblr. People are trying to find a new home, but there really isn't anything quite like Tumblr. This purge did hurt their traffic and their reputation, which already was quite negative, not only within certain circles of fandom, but outside it. Tumblr could live up or down to that reputation depending upon the topic. Since the purge, while there are some who left on principle, especially after the CEO's very puritanical comments about sex and sexuality and where it does and does not belong, again, if you missed those videos, click the card or the link will be down below, there were some who stayed put, still using the site as before, though some claim they have seen a drop off in traffic or at least some of the fun. Knowing that all types of material were welcome created a kind of different atmosphere on Tumblr. Many smut lovers or adult content lovers could have a bit of a joking attitude about it, and knowledge that yeah, many people would find it weird, but they were here for it. With their purging, a lot of that attitude has left, and some feel that what is left of Tumblr is the most negative aspect, while others say it's not that bad. You just need to look and build back your communities and stick to the people you usually stuck to. So why are we talking about Tumblr again? Hashtag Tumblr Is Over party. Well, Tumblr has been quietly sold. In the past, Tumblr's acquisitions were big news, and the amounts for which it was sold were touted. When Tumblr was sold to Yahoo, for example, that was for $1.1 billion. As of August 12th, it has been reported that Tumblr has been sold to WordPress, or rather Automatic. Automatic being the parent company of WordPress. The reason they wanted it is because Tumblr gets 20 times more traffic than their WordPress mobile app, confirming for many what they suspected, that the purge had nothing to do with the moralistic reasons that the Tumblr CEO gave. The rationale behind the purge was that child porn had been found on Tumblr. Child porn can sadly be found across all social media websites. So the cynics out there hypothesized that the true reason was because Apple had pulled them from their app store, and Tumblr gets most of its traffic from its mobile users. As a result, they needed to do something drastic to get back in the app store, but try and frame it in such a way that their users would be behind what they were doing. However, they miscalculated the perception of Tumblr and how people would react to it. Even outlets who are normally for this sort of thing were standing behind Tumblr. It was definitely not the effect they had anticipated. Don't get between people and their adult content. And also don't get between people and what they perceive to be their safe space. So people have a few questions about this acquisition. How much was it for? And is the adult content coming back? To answer the more pressing of the two, no, the adult content is not coming back. The CEO was quite frank about the reasons why. CEO Matt Mullenweg stated, "Adult content is not our forte either, and it creates a huge number of potential issues with app stores, payment providers, trust and safety. It's a problem area best suited for companies fully dedicated to creating a great experience there. I personally have very liberal views on these things, but supporting adult content as a business is very different." This statement, while it does still place fan-created adult content firmly within the realm of taboo, far more so than it deserves to be, as this kind of thinking is not the society-destroying deviance that has been painted as. And it must be be stated, for there are people who enjoy cherry picking and taking things out of context, that this statement has nothing to do with the child content. That is completely inappropriate. And pretty much everybody who was supporting some other kind of purge or different system believed that as well. They just felt that a total ban on a site that had been so open to it before and was still going to support all other kinds of questionable content seemed very drastic. However, one wonders if the CEO had come out with a statement more in line with this one, that really it's just about the money, all about the Benjamins. Would people have received it better? Is there any way that this move could have been well received? It must of course be reiterated that there are many different opinions around this topic. Some feel that Tumblr did the right thing and that it's better for it. However, on the shipping and transformative fan side of things, there is a lot of shame in these areas, particularly as some do like to deal in more adult or smutty fare, and it must be stated that this is an entirely normal, natural process of exploration, regardless of one's age. Meaning that if one discovers it at 16 or at 32 and decides to dive in, that Tumblr was a safe space for that exploration, particularly for its female users, as there's a very different way in general in which females and males consume adult content, and the curated sites for purely adult content tend to be geared towards a male audience, which has left many of the female Tumblr users kind of directionless. Though this would again depend on one's experience on Tumblr, there are some who would completely disagree with the idea that Tumblr was any form of safe space. It's a much more nuanced topic than the way it was presented, which was adult content bad. So WordPress is planning on slowly taking over all of the traffic. They feel that they can house it, but it's just going to take a bit of a while because it's going to be quite the transfer. They want to get that mobile usage up and use it to bolster their own. So how much money did this deal go down for? Well, rumor has it not a lot, because the amount is being kept very close to the chest. Though the number that has been coming to light is said to be $3 million. Which would be quite the drop from the last time it was acquired, and really speak to its status, or the way its status is perceived when it was first in its heyday. Tumblr will most likely not vanish, especially if it can maintain a presence on mobile phones, and it will still remain a part of the fandom landscape. But it won't be quite the same as it was at its zenith. All things change. Remember when LiveJournal was the huge fandom hub? Is Tumblr the new LiveJournal? There are still people who love LiveJournal. It had some very positive qualities. It really did. Does. It still exists. So now, the questions. Have you noticed a change, a shift on Tumblr since the Purge? Do you think that there will be a new one as they are acquired by yet another parent company? Have you been shifting your fandom off? And if so, where have you been going? And of course, do you miss the adult content? No shame in the game here. Just a quick Tumblr update, because this one has been very hush-hush. Nowhere near as much coverage of this as there was of the Purge, for obvious reasons. Thanks so much for spending some time with me to discuss some of the happenings in fandom. Any change in Tumblr is significant for transformative fandom because it does occupy a large space. It is not all of it that is a misconception, but if it were to suddenly vanish, that would drastically change the landscape. This has been Shipper's Guide to the Galaxy. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
This has been Shipper's Guide to the Galaxy. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Special thanks to all my patrons, names on the side. There are, as always, more videos coming soon. Let me know what you're interested in down below. And don't forget, there are as many ships out there as there are stars in the sky.